Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I'm happy and thrilled that we have Renee Betterton here with us, and from US, and she's a life coach, and she's also a healer, and she's been doing this since 2017, and a number of other things. But Renee, please introduce yourself and your business to our audience of entrepreneurs and business owners.
Certainly. My business is called Life Solutions Transformations, and I'm a certified coach, and I help women recover from PTSD, trauma, emotional stuff, and reset their emotional balance and belief systems so they can have a better life. I'm also a certified hypnotist, and I see myself more as a healer because a hypnotist doesn't seem to cover everything that I really do.
Wonderful. And what inspired you to start your own business?
In 2016, I came out of a very traumatizing relationship and I found coaching. And at that point, I decided that I wanted to be a coach and I wanted to help women have better relationships, pick better partners, and heal up all their emotional stuff so they can have better lives in general overall.
Nice. And what can someone actually expect when they're working with you? What kind of results you're sort of helping people with?
Wow. Powerful results. Just from my healing show alone, I've had people tell me that I've changed their life, helped them get through addiction recovery, both meth and alcohol addiction recovery, help them change their mindsets and their kind of their spiritual part of them as well. And so basically help them create a balance in their life to where they're more in control of their life and their emotions instead of them controlling them.
Wonderful. And what is one tip that you can actually share with our audience, entrepreneurs that are sort of affected by their emotions or trauma or some previous experiences that are not serving them and maybe trigger them when they're actually, trying to build their business and so on?
Well, a lot of people struggle with mindset, I know, and a lot of that comes from what was their first, what they learned, like in relationships, whether it's a relationship with coworkers or personal relationships. Whatever they learned at a young age, usually between 2 and 5, basically, is that foundation that creates the relationships they're going to have as an adult in the future. So that includes how um, whether or not they feel worthy of going after their goals, deserving of those goals, and have the mindset and the motivation to stay focused on those goals. Because a lot of those childhood programmings will come up and they're playing on a background level. So a lot of people don't realize that a physical pain that they're having is probably something connected to something that happened in childhood they have no memory of at all. So some of the stuff that I do gives them the ability to touch base with that feeling, connect with the memory, and literally take that memory, frame it, and write the lessons from that experience. Even if they don't know what the lessons are, your neurology will do it for you. And they can shrink that experience from that, whatever that was, maybe a car accident, maybe someone telling them they're stupid, anything like that, and shrink that down. And they can literally put that behind them. And what the neurology sees behind them, it sees as done. And it doesn't continue to seek out and use that again. Another thing is people don't realize is that it's really hard to change a belief about, whether or not you could make a lot of money, whether or not it's okay to be rich and that kind of thing, because negative stuff is wired so much stronger than positive things. So that's where your brain usually goes. So if you want to change a belief, you have to dominate it because the pattern that was there is what's dominant and it doesn't go away, but you can practice a new pattern of thinking and dominate that old one out. And then your brain will start using the new pattern that you've created because it's become more dominant in your mind.
And what are positive results on someone's life or business once they actually, sort of fix this or overcome these issues?
They're going to have more clarity and focus for one. They're going to have a more calmer mindset and emotional set. So you're not so emotionally driven. You're more, I wouldn't say really logically driven, but you don't make decisions based on that fear or I wouldn't say motivation, but so instead of being fear driven in your decisions, like, okay, I need this really bad, I got to make this happen. When you're coming from a place like that, a lot of times things kind of unfold in more of a negative way. But when you're more clear and centered, then when you make your decisions, you're making them based on a place, okay, this is what I want. I've thought about this. I'm very clear on what I want. This is my next logical step that's going to get me closer to what I want. And so your results are going to be more positive, more long lasting, and you're going to be more comfortable in the results that you get because it's going to be more of what you want instead of something that's going to go backwards because it was driven by emotions and desperation.
Absolutely. And can you also tell us about, in terms of your own business, like what excites you about your own business?
One of the big things that lights me up is when I see someone that comes to me and they're having all this emotional turmoil and indecisiveness and, lack of clarity. And then I work with them, I focus on the mindset, see what's going on with their mindset and shift that. And then we work on anything that's coming up that's a block that's keeping them from having what they want. So they have kind of an aha awakening moment. And when I see that, and that they're able to make that shift, that lights me up because I know that I made a difference in their life. And so their choices and their outcomes are going to be far better than the place that they were at.
Wonderful. And can you also, you mentioned also that you're doing these healing sessions. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like,
My healing show.
yes.
Okay. My healing show I do every Tuesday Pacific Standard Time at 4 p.m. on Facebook Live. I go live from my homepage. And every week I have a different topic. So I do some kind of coaching around the topic I'm going to do. And then the last part of half of it, I do healing processes that they can follow with or come back and watch the replay and do the healing stuff. So like this last one I did a grounding. So help them be more grounded. The more grounded you are and connected to the earth energy, the more calmer your emotions are going to be and the more sound your decisions are going to be when you make them. And so we did that. And then I did on manifesting. So on the manifesting, I had them visualize what it was that they want and let the emotions come up for it. And what will happen a lot of times when they're visualizing what they want, negative stuff that are the blocks that are keeping you from having what you want will show themselves. So what I did was I had them do that till emotions come up. And if any negative things came up, negative feelings, like usually you'll feel an angst in your chest or a nausea in your stomach, that's telling you that there's some discordance between what you believe you can have and what you want. And so when that comes up, I use the magic frame process, which I was explaining to you in the pre-interview, and we shrink that down, we put that behind them, and then I have them visualize again. And if anything comes up again, what I do is I'll have them visualize what they want, and then I'll have them create a symbol. And if the feeling's positive, it should generate a beautiful color and fill that symbol with a color. And then what I have them do is I take all the color, that energy out of the body, spin in the same direction. And if there's anything else there, once I put it back into the body will start purging out all the negative stuff as well. And then what I have them do is we'll do that with multiple things that they want, starting with smaller things. So their mind, once your mind feels that you made successes with smaller things, it opens up that space for you to manifest the bigger things that you want. So then we take the colored symbols and we do something called image cycling, which you can learn more about that with Bill Bingston. And image cycling is one of the fastest ways to manifest what you want. So you're either cycling either a symbol or an image, and you'll cycle then in rotations faster and faster and faster. And what will happen is it'll start spinning in your mind. And sometimes if people have like mental stuff, it may be a little bit hard on their brain when they're doing that. But it's one of the fastest things. And as the things start to manifest for you, you cross them off your list and add something new to your list. The idea would be to get to 10, maybe even 20 things that you're cycling at once.
Great. I mean, this is so interesting because this definitely can activate the retractor activating system. And yeah, I think that's
Very powerful.
yes. So how people actually, where can they find you? Like where they can find more about this healing show that you're doing and stuff?
The healing show itself is called Tap In Tuesdays with Renee, and I've been doing it since 2017. And when I first started doing this show, one of my first episodes was going to be around manifesting and abundance and money. And when that happened, right before my show, all this extreme anxiety was flowing through my body to the point to where I was going to throw up. And I used the spinning and the magic frame, and it took like about 10 minutes. And after all that anxiety was gone, it went away. So every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US, I go live from my homepage. I do post an event for the Tap In Tuesdays with Renee Healing Show, but I don't go live through the event because it doesn't show the live video on my posting. And then when I'm live, people can pop on anytime that they like and watch the show for free.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, I can definitely share the link to the show in the description of this episode. And yeah, so that's one way. And then also, if someone actually is interested to learn more about you or wants to work with you, how they can actually get in touch with you.
They can direct message me on Facebook, either under my name, Renee Betterton, or under my business page of Life Solutions Transformations and Life Solutions Transformations on Instagram as well.
Wow. Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing these great tips and also sort of like opening possibilities when it comes to the healing and how important that is for entrepreneurs and business owners and people in general. So thank you for being a great guest and sharing your story with us as well. Thank you all for watching and listening. If you liked this episode, please drop us a like and subscribe to this podcast. So
For having me, Tony.
yeah, absolutely. So all the best and see you in the next episode.
Thank you.